Dear sweet God, Mama Ashi is thick as all hell. Oh, oh. So this episode starts out with like a flashback sequence. It's probably the scene where Jack lost his sword, but in a memory from episode 2 or 3, was it even 1? The memory of Jack losing his sword, actually there was green smoke and everything, so I was looking out for that, but I didn't see that. So maybe it was just that whole demonic thing, that ghost entity. Maybe that's the light that was portraying in Jack's head. But we see Jack with his robe, his sword and everything, talking to this cute creature. But from the beginning I was suspect of it. The animation style for this memory, I don't even know how to say it, but you'd expect it to look like how it looked when you were a kid. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this animation is much more smoother, cleaner. It's, will I say more robotic? It just has less life in it, less love, I would say. Because it just looks like, okay, this scene could have been made in 20 minutes, whereas the former Samurai Jack, maybe a scene could take 20 days. You never know. Jack finds a portal and just jumps in, and in my head I'm like, oh my god, he's going back, this must be a dream sequence. But then a hand just gets him and pulls him out, and it was Aku, and he was like, that was close. He destroys the portal and he tells Jack that that was the last portal, so you're basically stuck here. And Jack just goes into rage mode, and Aku was like, no, don't, be careful, you could kill yourself from anger. And I was like, oh wait, what am I saying? No, continue, forget I even said anything. And the joke was funny, but the old Aku wouldn't have made a joke like that. He would have made something else. So this actor is trying his best. His own take on Aku is actually not that terrible, but yeah, the old Aku was always the best. But we make do with what we have. Aku transforms those adorably cute things into raging beasts, and Jack doesn't even hesitate in killing them, and they transform back to innocent creatures. We see Jack's robe kind of torn. I love that look. And he's standing over the goat thing with blood, and he's just surprised. I mean, that was his first kill of anything innocent, but I wouldn't say that. Jack has always been killing robots and monsters, but when something threatens his life, he has to kill it. So in this scene, the sword left Jack because he did something, or was it that he let his rage take control, or was it because of the animals he killed? Makes you wonder. And Jack was all like, he was not able to find it again, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Why didn't you go down after it? Maybe he thought it was bottomless because a portal to the past was there. But knowing Jack, he would have gone down. Maybe he didn't have an animal. Maybe him going down by himself and coming back up would have been too stressful, because he said he couldn't find the sword again. But that, you didn't go down to look for it, you asshole. He and Ashi come down on the bird. He look around, he sees the skeleton of the cute goat he killed, and the sword isn't there. So he's like, yeah, the sword is hiding from me. And I'm like, wait, what? The sword has a mind of its own? And Jack's just like, this is a journey I must take by myself. And I can understand Ashi's confusion. And Jack just freaking goes into the spirit realm. Oh my god, this is some Avatar type shit. And Ashi is just here, an army comes in saying, we want to kill the samurai. And Ashi was like, no, you cannot. And they started laughing at her. They're like, you're gonna stop us? She was like, yeah. They just like, blech. Then she was like, just come at me, bro. And she just goes rage, but like, she took down an army. I know Jack has, well, maybe an army of robots, but this just seemed less realistic. Of this girl wearing leaves took down an army. Come on. The whole scene where Jack's making tea is just calming. Like, my body just mellowed down just at the thought of it. Like, it was just a calming thing to see. And then after that, it just cuts to Ashi with blood on her hands, breaking someone's arms. Cuts back to the scene, serene, pouring tea, and then goes back to all balls out breaking loose. It was just a nice contrast of rage and calm, the thing that Jack is trying to get away from, and Ashi's just covered in blood, titties swaying from gravity, and she hears a sound. Someone got up on the rock pillar thing, and she's just bolting. The bird takes her up. The arrow is notched. I'm like, she's not gonna make it. Nope, she makes it, grabs the arrow. Then a barrage of arrows comes through, and I'm like, did a part of the army get up there? Because not one person can shoot all these arrows this quickly. I do not care if it's a cartoon or not. Ashi takes a slab, covers herself, and I'm like, this girl is just on point. She is just me right now. And next thing, the High Priestess comes out, and I'm like, oh shit. Ashi just like, mother? Her mom just basically destroys her, tries to bring her down. She does that mother thing of guilting you, using you against you for your own good. And I hate it when mothers do that. Yeah, there was this huge brawl scene between Ashi and her mom, and I thought everything that happened to the daughters of Aku only happened to them, but it only makes sense if the mom went through that process herself with the whole covering her body in charcoal. Because here, obviously, some people will say the mom is naked, but no, for the fact that there is a layer of something over their skin, I consider that to be clothing. Makes you wonder why the mother didn't go after Aku herself, but sent her 7 daughters, since the mom has training. And this whole thing, this whole battle with the army and her mom just reminds us that Ashi is really good. Just because she couldn't kill Jack doesn't denounce the fact that she was also an awesome badass. It's just that Jack is on another plane of existence compared to these people. The fight between Ashi and her mom was so terrible, but I mean terrible good. It was really good, and it was so bad it was good. It's good bad, or should I say it's bad good? I hope you get what I'm saying. The mom says, how can you be with someone who killed your sisters? And I'm like, true, she has a point. How can you, Ashi? Answer her. And then Ashi gives this basically bullshit excuse of, we were sentenced to death the moment you brought us, it was your fault. And I'm like, no, not really. Jack was the one that technically killed them. But I like that kind of dynamic. Ashi should at least try and bring it up with Jack. Like, you do know you killed my family, right? And then Ashi kills, she just straight up throws an arrow through her mother. That must be a strong throw, but damn, all these things just for Jack. Yeah, Jack is the good guy, but they're doing a lot of morally bad things that I think would mess a human being up. And I really wish this thing was 2 seasons long. Like, we could have gotten a 3-episode arc of Ashi's redemption. We would have gotten more of this mother thing with Jack killing her sisters, Jack's own everything. It's just like it's being crunched up too much for time constraints. But Gendy used the time he had, and I feel for what he had, he used it well. Jack is still in the spirit realm talking to this monk-like thing spirit. Maybe it's the spirit of the sword. And after he makes the tea, the spirit was like, this is terrible. Jack's like, really? He said, yes, it has all the necessary ingredients, but it doesn't have balance. And I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get some cosmic karma bullshit thrown at us. And yeah, at the end of the day, it turns out that it's Jack's rage that hindered him, because it was when Aku destroyed the last portal that Jack got angry. So that must have been the point where Jack lost balance. And when he destroyed the rage, because his rage, that personification of himself, just became more demonic as we went along. And when Jack finally says, but now I can see clearly, and his eyes just pew, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. He's before the 3 gods, and they were like, the way your father was chosen, so were you. And I'm like, was he really? I just thought Jack had to do all these things because he was the son of the chosen one, when you actually think about it. But you never actually realize that Jack was also chosen, because Jack's father has been through a lot too, but not as much as Jack. Or you could just say it's about the same, because Jack's father went through hell trying to defeat Aku the first time. And it makes you wonder, after all these years, these gods still haven't changed their look. Like, come on, it's the future. You guys should amp it up. And no, they took the beard. Like, Jack transformed, his robe came back, his hair got tied up, but they took the beard. Like, take the mohawk, take the hair away. but leave the fucking beard. It was awesome. Or wait, take the beard, leave the hair. I don't even know, but it just took the beard away. We get the sounds we're so used to as kids. Watching it a second time, I just got the nostalgia. At first, I watched it the first time with my boyfriend, and when Jack was running at Ashi, you hear his sandals clinking, and Bay was like, "There's the sound," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's true." And when I watched it the second time, Jack's putting his sword back in his sheath, like sheathing his shielding, whatever, and that sound of just the blade and the material, it's just so nostalgic. And yeah, the sound of his sandals, everything is just there, and I just get it. I got it. Jack sees Ashi just lying down, like, what? He runs, he picks her up, and then the look Ashi gave him, my boyfriend actually had to turn his head, like, I don't know, I think the nigga was blushing or something. But what? He just said those are bedroom eyes, and I'm like, really? He said, you won't get it, those are bedroom eyes. And I just looked at Ashi like, ooh, is this what seduction looks like? I don't I'm just rambling at this point. Ashi comments on Jack's changed appearance, and his changed appearance doesn't even match Ashi anymore, like, and she asks him, what now? And he's like, Aku. And it was the same pose and everything like from the last episode. Jack just sees this sort of destruction she caused, and there's this one guy who's screaming ow, and I'm like, will he die? Well, there's a sword through his heart, there's a spear through his heart, so he might die, but who knows, he might still live. And yeah, that's the end of this episode. I'm recording all these things in a freaking rush because I have so much to cover, but I cannot wait to record the next episode because I watched it and we all know what's gonna happen, so let's get into it. Thanks y'all so much for clicking to watch. Please don't forget to read my books on Wattpad, support me on Patreon, and follow me on Twitter. Tweet me your favorite scenes, and as always, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay awesome. This is TVC signing out.